Okay guys, this is your girl Simply Betty 101 come today with a video on how not to blow your refund. So stay tuned. If you don't know anything about refunds, for those of you who are in school and who do get refunds checks, you know that refunds come from when you go through your financial aid at the beginning of the year. You have the option to take out either the exact amount you need for tuition, or you could take out the full amount that financial aid has offered you. If you take out the full amount and your tuition and all your fees are paid and there's an amount left over, that is what is called a refund, and that amount of money is then given to the student. Now, those refunds can range from between a couple $100s. In my case, I got a couple of $1,000s every semester, really, because I took out the full amount every year because I needed, little funds in my pocket, because I knew my parents were not going to be able to give me money. The budget that my mom gave me was like $100 a month. I spent $100 on food alone every week, so yeah, that wasn't gonna work. So I ended up taking out the full amount to get a refund check, and that also helped pay for my books and all of the necessities and things that I wanted. For those of you who are not smart at managing money, if you do receive a refund check, this is going to be the make or break you or surviving through college. Now, there are a couple of tips that I would advise when you get your refund check. Number one, think before you spend. And what I mean by that is make a list of your needs and wants. Make sure you budget for each of those. Don't just get your refund check and then just think, oh, I'm balling out of control and I can go do whatever you want, because then in a week, when all of your money is gone, you're back to being broke and you still have the rest of the semester to make it through without any funds. So think before you spend. Make a list of your needs and wants. Make a budget for both of those categories. That is going to be key as far as surviving and stretching that refund out for the rest of the semester. Not fun when November comes around and you want to go somewhere or do something, you don't have any more money. There are some colleges that give their students their refunds before school starts. Hooray for you guys. So this video is a little late for you, but for those who went to a university like I did, they actually hold on to our refunds until like September to make sure that you're actually staying in school, because of course there are some people that messed it up for us in the past. So our schools held on to our refunds about September. So this is around the time that you guys will be getting your refund checks, right before homecoming. So you want to ball till you just, hey, showboat and all of that. No, let's be smart about our money, you guys. You're going into adulthood, so every little bit of money counts. Advice number two, I would advise to save 10% of your refund. Now, if you are like me, I know one semester the biggest refund I got was like over $4,000, and that's a lot of money for someone like me who has never had money before like that. I did have jobs here and there during high school, but I never had that amount of money at one time. I would advise to save 10%. That is for emergencies, just in case money, just so you know that it's there. You kind of like just save that 10% and forget about it. Open up you a savings account or whatever. So if you need money in a clutch and you don't have any money, or if you want to just go home, buy a plane ticket, whatever the case is, you have that savings there, and it'll help you in the long run as well as far as budgeting and being able to save money. Tip number three. Now this is going to be about big purchases. Now I know there are a lot of students out there in college who don't have a vehicle. The first thing you want to do is purchase a car. What I would say is pump your brakes and really think about before you do these big purchases. You want to make sure that you don't get a car with a car note unless you work something out with your guardians or your parents, whoever's going to be paying the car notes. If you want to use your refund check for a down payment, that is awesome, but just make sure that car note is covered. Don't be like some people that I saw in college who were out-of-state students. They actually went back home, purchased a car, and then drove the car back to another state and never paid the car note. I know you're thinking, well, that's just genius. Not in the long run. It is going to affect your credit and possibly your parents' credit, especially if they co-signed. So you don't want to put yourself or anybody else in that horrible predicament or situation to where it messes up something that they want to do later on in the future. If you're going to purchase something like a vehicle just to have on campus, don't get a car just because of the make and model. Get something that's actually functional and practical for you. I would advise to buy a used car. I know that may not be what you want to do, but if it's just what we used to call a bucket car to get you to point A to point B, that's really all you need until you're able to afford a nice car and something that is more in your budget. So big purchases, please be careful. Also, with big purchases, you may want to use it for your first and last month rent for an apartment or something like that. Make sure you can afford it even after your refund is gone. Now, I know that there are some housing that is set up to where they won't charge you for rent until you get your refund, because the housing has made a partnership with the school, so they know the situation that some students are in and they're waiting on that refund to pay their bills. So be on the lookout and make sure you read the lease and or the contract that you signed with places like that, so that you won't be put in a horrible predicament later on down the road as well. Fourth thing I would advise, please don't showboat. Everybody do not need to know that you have your refund check or that you have money. You know, you can say, oh, I'm just waiting on some money to come in, or, you know, so like, but they don't need to know how much you get, because the moment people realize that you're getting a big refund, that is when people are going to start clinging around you, because they might not be getting as much, or they will and they don't want to spend their money, they want to spend your money. So just be wise on that. Once your money is gone, all your fake homies are gone as well. So be mindful of the company that you keep when it comes to these refunds, and just be very protective. Protect your money as if you're trying to protect something that is valuable to you, like your wallet, because basically that's what it is. You don't want to just hand your wallet off to someone just because they're your close friend, or they claim that they're your close friend. Believe me, once that money is gone, so are they. So be mindful of the company that you keep and think wisely on what you spend your money on. Smart tip, if you just don't know what to do with your refund check, I wish I would have had this advice while I was in school, not my senior year of graduating college. I wish I would have gotten this advice beforehand. But there was actually a student who took their refund check, put it in a bank account, and waited till they graduated, and then took most, if not all, of that money and actually paid it towards their student loans. So that is a smart tip as well. If you're going to take out the full amount, you know, and you get a refund check, if you don't necessarily need to use your refund check, just let it sit in the bank. And you know, once you graduate, you can do whatever you want to with it. You can start a new life or start a new career in another state. Whatever the case is, if you want to use it to pay back your student loans, you can. Now, granted, it's not going to pay the full amount of your student loans, but I guarantee you they are going to start hitting you up once you graduate, or making payments, and those payments can be extremely high, especially if you do not have a job once you graduate college. And I know that there are a lot of programs that you can enter in order to pay that back, but if you don't necessarily need to use your refund check, I would advise not to take out the full amount, or if you do take out the full amount, just in case money, you're not sure if you're going to need it or not, you know, just let it sit in the bank. You know, there are options. You don't have to leave it on that card. I know there may be a fee for some schools for you to transfer it to your personal bank account or whatever, but it is the best decision for you. Always be smart when it comes to money, because when you don't have money, everything seems to be closing in on you. But when you do have a lot of money, or, you know, a reasonable amount of money, sometimes you may not know what to do with it, and you kind of will just blow through it or just waste it on just frivolous things that you really don't need. So I would advise to either put it in the bank account, save it all, or budget out your money wisely, so that you're not just being one of those broke college students. I'm a girl, I need my hair done. You know, I'm not really good at maintaining natural hair nor relaxed hair because I was relaxed in college. So I would keep sew-ins in. There's always somebody on campus who knows how to do hair. And the same thing for the guys. There's always somebody on campus who knows how to cut hair. So if you have to pay $5 or $50, like I used to do, pay for my sew-ins, budget that out. How often do you get a haircut, or how often do you get your hair done for the rest of the semester? Budget those things out so that you have that money for those things that you want or necessities that you feel like you need. And then you don't have to worry about trying to scramble and cheap yourself and just look like you got the dollar store weave, because nobody wants the dollar store weave. I don't even know if dollar store sells weave. I'm pretty sure in some areas they do, because I know for a fact that Walmart used to sell weave, so I'm pretty sure in some areas that the dollar store sells hair. You can also get your hair off of Amazon and online companies. Be cautious of those that are not legit. You don't want stuff that just gonna break your head out and you be looking, you know, a little funky there. But these skills are going to help you in the long run, I guarantee you, because if I would have had these tips when I was in school, I would have did a whole lot better managing my money going into adulthood and career and before I had a child and all of these things, you know. But hey, life is life goes on, whatever. So make sure you're being mindful of what you spend your money on. If you're a foodie person, put yourself on a budget, because that freshman 15 is not a joke at all. You gonna gain that real quick. So I would advise to put yourself on a budget. I know, like, the calf for us closed at like 7 p.m., which was in my mind back then ridiculous, because I don't know what young adults stopped eating at 7 p.m. at night. Like, really, y'all can have something open to where I can get something to eat on campus and stop having to pay all these high delivery fees and all this. But anyways, budget that out as well. If you want to set yourself a $50 budget a week for food after night, or if you want to go buy groceries, that may be cheaper. But I understand that some dormitories don't have the full kitchen or whatever. There are ways that you can get food and cook it on campus. I am one of those. I had an entire kitchen in our dorm room. I was the cook person, so yeah. But anyway, so those are my tips. Think before you spend. Save at least 10%. Big purchases, make sure you caution those big purchases and think everything through all the way to the end game. Don't showboat your money. People don't need to know what you have. It's none of their business. Just a smart tip: if you want to use your refund to pay back your loans at the end, or a portion of your loans to help you carry over till you can actually financially pay your loans back, that is a smart tip as well. Or you can just not take out the full amount. That's even better. Hope you guys like this video. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, comment in the box below. This is your girl Simply Petty 101, and I'll see you guys later.
Keep it psychedelic like a cat, better still catch a wave on us. Take a shot like a friend, just enjoy the moment. Blue sky walking on his haters. Celebrate every